I wrote and recorded this several months ago, and no sooner did I finish recording than a whole bunch of new information became available, particularly about Facebook. Any attempt to incorporate these new stories meant that I just kept falling further and further behind. As soon as I made an adaptation, there was something else that was hitting the news. This isn't exactly up to date, but I'm going with what I originally recorded. The new information doesn't force me to change my conclusion. I was just hoping to use better and more recent examples. Ultimately, things are worse than I could initially prove. And now, the state of social media.
There are some questions that I have about the state of social media, and a lot of ethical concerns. There's a lot to unpack, and it's hard to find a starting place. So I'll lead with what people probably are already starting to suspect. Trust in social media companies is starting to wane. In fact, the whole industry of social media has a growing distrust issue worldwide. And it doesn't matter which company. 70% of people polled don't trust what they read on social media. It's understandable too. I'll admit I tend to pick on Twitter. Not that I don't deserve it. There are more reports that Twitter is actively removing bots from their service. But they're not coming close to affecting any real change. Those accounts seem to be replaced pretty quickly. And if it takes Twitter more than a day to find and remove a bot, then it's already too late. That bot has already served its purpose, along with the hundreds of others that were created at the same time. In 10 hours, a fake news story can reach 1,500 real users. For a real story to get that kind of reach, it takes closer to 3 days. Twitter isn't the only network that has this problem, it's just the poster child for it. That and harassment. So don't believe everything trending on social media. It's more likely just the bots boosting spam. Facebook. Yeah, they have a lot of explaining to do. Ever hear of a place called Myanmar? Did you hear that Facebook was used to incite acts of genocide there? I only recently learned about it myself. And it seems Facebook wasn't doing a whole lot to stop it. Just a day or two before I wrote this, Facebook kicked a general of the Myanmar army off of Facebook for actively calling for more ethnic cleansing. If there are already bodies in a mass grave, you're late. Way too late, Facebook. Like, by a year. Of course, there's the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where personal data gathered by Facebook was used for the express purpose of targeting Facebook users with articles and posts designed to emotionally manipulate them. By the way, if you're not upset about someone trying to manipulate you, congratulations on being a complete sucker. Long before the 2016 US election, the Ukraine government found evidence of Russian interference in their election by using Facebook to spread misinformation and distrust. When Ukrainian officials confronted Facebook about it, essentially Facebook said they didn't care and never did anything. Recently, the EU called Mr. Zuckerberg to testify and answer concerns about privacy, content regulation, and to answer questions about evidence that Russia, again, used Facebook to stir up political divisions and spread misinformation during the Brexit vote. Zuckerberg never showed up. It shows that Facebook is putting profits above social responsibility, and even human rights. Facebook has made claims that it's trying to stop the spread of misinformation. but they're stopping short of doing anything meaningful, like deleting any misinformation. Facebook will just reduce how many people that post is shown to, and only after it's been reported. It's too late, and long after the damage has already been done. Facebook also has a bot problem, and there doesn't seem to be any proactive attempt to hunt down and remove those accounts. Bot accounts aren't the source of spam and misinformation, but they are how it spreads so fast and so far. If there is no real effort to remove bots, then everything else Facebook does to deal with its misinformation problem won't work. And that brings us to Google. Google Plus is dead. It was dead on arrival, really. During launch, it made some rather big mistakes, like taking all of the contact info in people's Gmail accounts and adding them to Google Plus as friends without people's permission. There are a lot of people I email that I don't want knowing who I'm related to or friends with, or have any idea where I live or any other personal info. There are other issues, and I'm wondering if we didn't dodge a bullet when it came to Google+. Google already gathers huge amounts of data on us. If they had been successful in creating a social media network, Google would be able to fill in any gaps in that data with people willfully posting on Google+. It's clear that we shouldn't believe that Google is sticking to the "don't be evil" mantra anymore. And well, the workers should know. Google employees are protesting the creation of a censored search engine for the Communist Party, and the higher-ups seem to be ignoring their workers. They have even taken special steps to prevent certain departments in the company from seeing or commenting on the censored search engine. So, Google may be evil now. There are other issues, but Google's not in the social media game anymore. Aside from YouTube, which will be a video all its own. Oh, if you own an Android phone, someone is tracking you. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, thinks that everyone knows that they are being tracked by their phones. I know that's going to be a shock to many, many users. So yeah, just assume your Android phone is being tracked by entities unknown. Better assume it's multiple unknown organizations and entities. Okay. Tumblr. I hadn't thought about Tumblr for a while. Many people hadn't thought about Tumblr for a while. They maybe already have removed all of the porn on their site, which had been 1/4 of their total traffic that they were getting. Verizon bought Tumblr, but they don't want anything to do with porn. So why did they spend money for something that has so much porn on it? Frankly, the removal of porn might have happened regardless of who owns Tumblr. Advertisers were leaving the site because of the not safe for work images. Plus, there were pedos actively posting child porn, and Tumblr took way too long to deal with it. A lot of people are saying that this is the end of Tumblr. I'm not sure that it's the final end yet. It may hang around for another few years. And if Verizon adds some feature that brings people back to the site, then it might live on, just G-rated. But then Verizon never did that with AOL or Yahoo. So based on history, yeah, it's dead. I've noticed a theme here. A failure to be proactive about problems, and no moral compass to start with. Not too surprising considering the heavy use of psychological tricks to keep users on social media platforms and to keep them coming back. Even though a large group of people don't trust the companies and the content that's on their networks, people aren't leaving the networks en masse. There are people who have left, enough that companies have noticed, but not enough to be of any concern. That means the companies don't feel like they must change to keep users. There are more in-depth explanations than I can do on this already long video on how social media is built to be addicting. And yes, addicting is the best way to talk about it. It's kind of a digital Skinner box that rewards you for scrolling or sharing. And there is no clear end or signal that says it's time to stop and log off. When social media sites run out of things to show you, they ask you to find more people to follow. Only so the companies have more stuff to throw in front of you to keep you browsing, so they can get more money from advertising. If that is their top priority, then it makes sense that they would include news, or encourage news channels to use their network. It means a steady source of new things to show, to keep us addicted. But prioritizing time spent on their platform also means that they are not worrying about the quality of that news, or if the news source is legitimate and not just some troll out to make a buck, or agents of a foreign government sowing discord. They need that new thing to keep us coming back, and aren't going to block misinformation, because that's the kind of content that gets people active, sharing, commenting, arguing. None of the platforms seem to care that it's damaging real-world relationships, both personal and political. Even with a growing distrust of social media and its content, more people are getting their news from social media than newspapers. I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If you're not paying for your news, then you're not getting news. The current state of social media is rotten and has a colossal moral deficit. Thanks for watching, and good luck. To subscribe, click the channel icon on the top left. Top right is the previous video, and below that is a random suggestion from YouTube. Thanks again.